Good afternoon, everyone. Everton have beaten Arsenal by 1-0. Our founding host, Ryan's outside Goodison Park will cross over. Ryan, you've got a smile the size of Bramley Moor Dock. How are you?
Yeah, brilliant. I don't have long, but I mean, I just want to say a Sean Dyche masterclass. The compact press and the way we stopped Arsenal playing through us, the way we were shifting over side to side to stop them from finding the space. It was absolutely exceptional. Doucouré rolled back the ears. He was outstanding. Onana, Garner, even when they won the ball back, they didn't panic. They kept the ball really well. They played as a team. Dwight McNeil, exceptional down that wing today. When they swapped him to his natural position, left midfield, he offered a threat going forward. He looked comfortable. To be honest, the whole Everton team looked comfortable. Seamus Coleman, was exceptional defensively, didn't put a foot wrong. The two centre-backs were in complete tandem with each other. And up front, Dominic Calvert-Lewin had his best performance in 18 months for Everton, completely dominating Arsenal centre-backs. And even Neil Maupay putting a shift in when he came on. But yeah, I'm walking through Stanley Car Park. I'm absolutely ecstatic with the result. Fully deserved. It could have been 3 or 4. We had chances in the first half to score as well. But I just want to give massive shout-outs. That midfield was incredible. And Coleman and Dyche, unbelievable. Compact press, absolutely outstanding. My boys today were phenomenal. Get the ball in the box. And of course, his prodigal son, James Tarkowski. I mean, the corners were mad because they're floated up, and all it requires is someone, the strongest player, to stand there and head it in. And on another day, we win 2-3-0. So enjoy the stream. Thanks for getting me on. Everton 1, Arsenal 0. I'm going to drop out and bring in the two best pundits in the land, Jeff and Dan. For once, who won't be arguing with each other because they'll all be on the same page. So see you soon.
I'll be the teller of that. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, Goodison Park, and indeed, we are going to be bringing in our controversial but very astute pundits, Jeff and Dan. Guys, we've barely spoken since the whistle blew. You just can't write football sometimes. There was absolutely no way anyone saw Everton winning 1-0 today. Where do we start?
Absolutely.
Jeff,
go on, Jeff. Go first.
Where do you start? I'll tell you where you start.
You said these players couldn't be good.
No, yeah, but where you start, and it's the only place to start, is in the dugout. That's the difference a really good manager makes.
I told you.
Sean Dyche, he was animated, he was active, he was constantly chatting to the players. Like this looked like a team that was fired up. So the team talk before the match must have been really good. The team talk at halftime, like we didn't do one of those halftime sort of drop dot. Like we drop off at halftime, even when we're leading, we drop off.
That's right, Jeff. You never expect the same. You never expect.
Yeah, you don't expect 2 halves the same. No, and we didn't. We came out the start of the second half and we were on it again. It was a Sean Dyche masterclass, and all the players looked like they bought into it. It's the best performance I've seen from some of these players. Maybe in an Everton shirt, I don't know, but certainly for a long time. Mikalenko was excellent. Onana was outstanding. It was just one of the best days that I've experienced of Everton in a good long time.
Absolutely,
it was outstanding. Go on, Dan.
Jeff, it reminded me of the 2 or 3 games that Duncan was in charge.
Yes,
and it almost had an aura to the game. Dan, did you think that this was an inevitable result for Everton?
Keane will get fitter and sharper, another player I'm used to working with. But they at least give some of the players maybe a nudge in the right direction of how things are going to be working. But no, I'm delighted for them too, because a good delivery and a good finish and set piece are a big part of the game. We all know.
Sorry, I'm just listening to Sean Dyche.
It restores some of the belief in these players. Well, it gives us a platform to move forward, and it's the performance was key to me today, as a manager and the coaching staff, to put so much into a week, and with crammed a lot in for them to absorb it. The performance was
he's beaming. He is beaming, you can tell.
To get a win, of course, against the top of the league, they're going great, and we managed to press the game pretty well, managed to calm the game down pretty well. still think we can deal with the ball better. But as I said, that comes with confidence and belief in doing the basics well. And so that's my style, if you like. I want them to understand the basics of the game. But I said, we've got some very good footballers there.
A wonderful start. We jumped in at the deep end, and Mersey Derby next as well.
I know.
Right, I won't listen to any more. It's just...
I was Jeff.
Jeff,
we could all hear it anyway, so it was just letting the channel listen to it. Yeah, we could
all hear that. Jeff, just going to cross to Dan. Hopefully you two won't bicker too much today. Dan,
I was right anyway, so what can I bicker about? Apparently Jeff said these players ain't good enough, so and apparently a manager wouldn't make a difference. Well, a manager did make a difference, and these players. If you go back, you did.
I never said a manager couldn't make a difference.
I think everyone can play well one game. What we need to see now is some consistency.
Yeah, well, let's just be happy about this. Let's not just say it's just one game.
Yeah, exactly. We can't be down. Where do we unpick this? Let's start with the first.
I've got loads, mate. I've got loads. I have got loads to unpick from this. Like Jeff just said.
Let's start with the manager before the match. Actually, even before the match, how did you guys feel before the match? I mean, obviously there was some scenes at Goodison Park, and there was some graffiti on the stadium even before the game, which was a bit distasteful.
I don't like that.
I don't like that at all. But onto the game itself, and it looked like the fans were well behind Everton from the start. I didn't see the introduction of Dyche. I assume that happened before the game. If you were watching and saw that, if you've got any remarks, okay. So
basically all they did was the team came out. They did the announcement on the tannoy of the teams like they normally do, and then they did the away team first. Then they introduced all our players, and then they just said, "Welcome our new manager," kind of thing. And he just sort of turned around and waved at everyone, and then it carried on. So it wasn't like a major walking on the pitch enough, and he just literally walked on the pitch five yards, turned around, sort of waved to everyone, and got back in his dugout. So that's good. Thanks, Jeff.
No problem. Dan, once we got the game going, it was clear that Everton had a game plan. We set up basically it's 4-5-1, isn't it? Really, It's the first time we've seen Decore and Onana play together, but they were playing in different zones of the pitch. I thought Onana was particularly immense today. I think he got man of the match on BC Sport. Dan, what was your verdict of the early part of the game? Everton trying to obviously keep with Arsenal.
Well, obviously, if we're going to break it down, I'll go with the patches, like you've just said. And I watched it and I thought, right, how is this going to go? And straight away, you could see something different, and it's like, oh, because the back line stayed close to the midfield line. And you could see a 4-5-1, but you could see for the first time the three centre midfielders was in a line and wasn't everywhere. It was together 4-5-1. Arsenal, come at me, see what you've got. And I thought, we could be defending a lot of this. I thought this formation might make us defend a lot. I don't know how this is going to work. But then I seen when we get the ball, we get it and we keep it up top. And it was amazing. And we pressed with the foot. It was, my God. The old Everton is back. The old Everton.
And when was the last time you think we played anything like this?
I haven't seen anything like that under Lampard whatsoever.
There's been no midfield like this. Everton haven't. If you just joined us, Everton winning for the first time in 105 games. It must have been way before the World Cup since we won a bloody game. And we're ecstatic here on the channel. I mean, we very rarely get to come on and celebrate a victory. It's always a moaning, groaning. And we're flying through the comments because there's so many of them now. We won't get them through it unless we start putting them up. So if we put your comment up, it's because we want to make it interactive. We're not ignoring the comment. Comments are coming up. We'll pick out some of them and we'll go through at the end of the game.
That's a great comment, Tim. I think that says Tim. I'm not sure.
All player strengths,
played to all the players' strengths.
DJ Mid. Yeah, he says it. We played to the strengths. McNeil, it was outstanding. I think we're all on the same page here.
Yeah.
But to be honest, Jeff, every player I thought was outstanding today. It was a team performance.
Like I say,
I can't without any particular star players.
I can't reiterate this enough. I just can't. Sean Dyche is the difference, and it's clear to see because in so many ways you could clearly see that he's immediately had an influence. The defense they were like, they weren't just sort of all over the place. They were literally moving across. And then when the ball went across that way, everyone moved across. They weren't leaving any gaps. So everyone was filling in and filling in and filling in so that there wasn't a gap. So that then they had to go wide again. And then everyone would move across. And so there's no gaps. I mean, I think Odegaard
That's a
got
Dyson
in once.
masterclass, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it's
something he
basically a
does with the
tactical, and that's the word, is we looked like a tactically competent, well-organized side. And even on the best days of Frank Lampard, I don't think we could ever say that. This team looked like an organized, well-drilled
Does that
coach
come down
side.
to experience?
And that's after 5 days.
Jeff, does that just come down to experience in the Premier League and as a coach?
Yeah,
That's
it's
okay.
a guy who knows what he's doing, and you could tell he knows what he's doing, and you could. It was just so obvious, and you could see him all the way through the game. He's like, come here, and he was constantly like conducting the orchestra to get them to do what he wanted to do, and so they were looking on the sideline, and you could see it all game, all the players. You could see they were glancing over at him. And getting instruction, and so he was like the 12th man. He was on the pitch. We were the 13th today, and he was basically running the show, and they were following the instructions. And it just looked like it was night and day to anything I've seen in. I can't remember.
You're right, absolutely, night and day. Great way to describe it, Jeff. We're going to move back to the game now, and obviously in the early parts of the game, the Gunners had a lot of possession. At times, Everton had 10-minute spells where they only had 12% possession. But that didn't matter because Everton pressed, didn't they, Dan? And Everton managed to get a really good spell in that first half where they continued to win corners. And that got the crowd up. How do you think that spell was the catalyst for Everton moving forward and eventually winning the game, Dan?
Well, I just think the formation on what you said at the start, it was a 4-5-1. But with the three centre midfielders, it was like every now and again, one of them went to Hunt. Whether it was Onana, you go and Hunt, you go and turn that ball over. So Onana went and turned, and Onana, oh my days, he's my favourite player, but he's even more my favourite player now. And it's you go and Hunt, and Onana went to Hunt. And then all of a sudden, Onana drops in. Decore, you go and Hunt. He drops in. Garner Gay read the game like a book today. Garner Gay was back. And he needed to be because he hasn't been good enough. Every player at that start, the chances that we got, I was like, we look solid, but then that ball come in, like you say, we're speaking in patches, Steve. That ball come into Calvert-Lewin, and he could have scored the header.
It was a Gaza chance, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it was
one on the header, and then the slide one, the ball that come in the slide where it was 1 centimetre off. And I point this out now because we're talking in patches. The way Calvert-Lewin started the game. Yeah, well done. And he's took some shit, but he wanted to do well
today. He's only scored, what, one goal in the Premier League this season?
He put himself about
today.
It's
a guy that's obviously going to be a bit short of confidence, but the new manager, Dyche, we've got to take... I've taken my hat off. If there was any doubters of whether Dyche was the right man right now, that Everton performance today confirms it. If you've just joined us, we know it can be hard to get signal outside Goodison, but if you just joined us, welcome to the stream. We have a few hundred watching live. I
can't handle it.
We have Dan who's still trying to warm down from the game.
I can't handle it. I can't. Honestly, I'm so buzzing. I can't handle what I've got inside.
I don't want to get too carried away, but we do want to celebrate this. Not only the clean sheet at home, which is something we haven't seen donkey's years, but also Everton scoring and winning and then beating a side at the top. There's so much to celebrate here. And obviously time will tell whether this is a one-off game or whether this is the turning point. But if they play like this, we've got a good chance of staying up, guys.
I said before, Steve, it's massive giving them a fresh start. Give these a fresh start. Don't think, will this last? This is the first game under Dyche. Fresh start. You played amazing. Let's get behind this. All you can judge them on is this one game. Forget the past. Forget what the players have played like. Get behind what they played like today. And the derby's next. I think the derby being next is the best game that could come next after that performance.
Because you can't drop your level. Yeah.
No.
Two interesting stats from today. This is the first time in, I think it's close to 50 years that we've beaten Arsenal at home 3 times on a run.
It's we did draw against them once though, Jeff, but I don't know whether that was.
I think we won three at home in a row.
We have won
that
3,
was
but I
a
don't know
sort-
whether it's 3 out of 4.
Yeah, it's 3 in a row.
It was a 0-0 amongst that lot.
Yeah, but I think that was away. But anyway,
Okay.
And the other one is it's the first time Sean Dyche has beat a side in the top 6 as a manager. So
Really?
that's like, yeah. A side that's top of the league. It's the first time he's beaten a side that's top of the league as a manager. So that's like a really good omen, if you know what I mean. But going back to DCL.
Look at this. Sorry, Jeff. Keep talking, but watch this coming. Oh, they're going to get pregnant and call the babies. They're going to get pregnant and call the babies Onana after today.
There's definitely going to
Onana.
be some celebrating in town, and there's going to be some fun tonight. But yeah, going back to DCL. DCL at his best.
He's the best.
No one's going. He's not a great goal scorer. Right, he's not. You know, he's a decent scorer. He will get his share of goals if he's given good service. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin at his best is a hold-up man, and he will hold the ball up. And I think today that's the best I've seen him in terms of he was winning throw-ins and holding up the ball, and he was getting us up the pitch by holding on to the ball, backing into people. He looked as close to the old DCL as I've seen him in a while. He just looked like he was starting to look like DCL again. You know, when he was at his best, he was elbows out, pushing people around. He was showing strength against the centre backs, going out wide. You know, when the ball was coming down, you know, he was like sort of winning throw-ins and stuff like that, and it moves you up the pitch. And that's like, it's so massive. It doesn't seem like much. You know, you win a throw-in 30 yards up the pitch, but the whole team then moves forward. And it puts the pressure the other way. And it means if you're going that way, they're not coming this way. And so, like defence, the old adage, defence starts from the front. And it does. If you can pressure their centre-backs, they don't get to play the ball out from the back. They don't get to play it out wide and play for, you know, and it was just, like you say, the whole thing, it was a tactical masterclass. We did exactly what you would hope an Everton team would do. They're clearly a better side than us in terms
Technically,
of...
absolutely. No
Technically.
doubt.
But we brought the things that we're good at, and we did them well. We did all of our jobs well and properly and correctly, and had all of the elements that a good Everton side has: fight and scrap and organisation, and we nicked a goal, and I'm just so excited. I'm so excited.
Definitely, we'll come to the goal in a minute. But
I'm
from an
so
identity
happy.
point of view, I think the tone was set from day one. But you make a good point about Calvert-Lewin. It's only going to be a matter of time before it clicks for him. But what he did was the team were compressed through the lines and were able to move across.
Can I just jump in on a quick point, Steve, on that?
Disconnected like it had previously, where it's like 3 separate lines that are not even in the same pitch at times. Go on, Dan.
Can I just jump in on a quick point? Calvert-Lewin, this is what I'll point out. I watched it intense this game because I love what I was seeing. Calvert-Lewin this time, I think it felt like Dyche said to him, "You're a big lad, get into him." Because even when Calvert-Lewin didn't win the ball a couple of times, he shouldered into a couple of them and said, "I'm here, I'm a big lad." And he knocks them about this time. And I've been saying I want my centre forward to put himself about.
Yes.
And Calvert-Lewin smashed a couple of their centre backs over, and that rocked him. That rocked him. And that's what I want Calvert-Lewin to do more, because he is a big lad and he put himself about today. And if he does that, it helps so much, especially with Sean Dyche tactics. And I was really proud of Calvert-Lewin today because he's had a lot of stick and he needs to be consistent, but at least he started with a good start under this new manager. And he looked like he was very unlucky not to get a goal that first half when we're talking about patches of the game. The sliding, whiskers away on that sliding. And McNeil as well was cracking. And I've said loads though. McNeil, that is a Mopé was a shithouse as well. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
McNeil, I know what you mean. Mopé was a shithouse when he come on. I like that as well. But they all played 100%.
But he's a wind-up merchant as well. He was getting into Arsenal.
The difference is, and this is what you see in most of the games. So you can talk about patches, but this is what you see. They was in it together. McNeil, obviously, he switched sides. So the switch, McNeil went to the left. They started with Iwobi on the left and McNeil on the right. And clearly, this is a difference. Dyche straight away seen that it wasn't working. We all could say that they needed to switch to their normal sides. Straight away, boom, Dyche switched it to what they should be. That's the difference of a good manager. Straight away, he does what we think straight away. So we switched it, and he put McNeil, because McNeil didn't look that good on the other side, and Iwobi didn't. They looked like they was on the wrong sides. So he switched it, and he put them on the correct sides. And then we see McNeil get back. And by the way, Mykolenko, what a game. He's had more shit than anyone, and everyone took him out the squad. But he had one of the hardest jobs of the game today to mark one of the best frigging informed players with Saka. And McNeil, I'm so excited. Our left back, Miko had him in his
I know you're
pocket.
a big fan of him, Dan, but his commitment was 110% today.
Yeah, he was bang on. And that's what I'm just saying, Steve. McNeil helped Mykolenko. Iwobi helped Coleman, and this is what made us a team today. And the centre midfielders work together. And the difference is, and I've said this all along, and sometimes you've gone against me on it. The back, because I said our back centre backs and back line needs to push up. We are too deep. Sean Dyche has done what I wanted him to do. He pushed the back line up at all times, and he's kept the back line close to the centre mid, and it makes you very hard to get through. And that's the difference today. And I want to just point this out as well. I don't think we would have been as good if Sean Dyche wasn't on that touchline 24/7. Every time a player fell to sleep, Sean Dyche says, no, you get here, you come compact, like, you push this, you put, he's shouting, he's saying, no
calmness to it.
But our players switch off. And this is the reason we can go 1-0 up and we concede 2 and end up losing 2-1, because our players switch off, where Sean Dyche will not let them switch off. And he was telling I seen Iwobi playing, and he's continuously looking at Sean Dyche whether he's doing things right. That's what a good manager does.
Exactly
that is what before. What a good manager does. And Lampard, and I said this to my partner earlier on, I said, Lampard put the team out and he left them and he said, can you do it? Sean Dyche puts the team out and he coaches the team all the way through the game. And that is the difference. And Sean Dyche made a big difference to these players. But you've got to give massive credit to these players that a lot have said ain't good enough, because these players today, every single, even Mope, like Jeff said when he come on, shit house. I love that, being a complete shitbag to get us over the line. Yay. Every single player was absolutely amazing. And Onana, when he did that, I'm going to get kicked out. My neighbours are going to get me kicked out of my house, because when Onana ran up to the end and did that power run when it was near the end of the game and got up to the crowd and goes, come on to the crowd, I was like, wow.
I just want to come into this comment, right? Now, because obviously I'm going to take some stick for the comment that I made, right? They're just not very good, Jeff, right? Okay. So just in response to that comment, right? No, and it's a fair one.
You just got to own up. You're wrong.
No.
Because I said to you, even if we get a new manager, if you go back, listen to this though. If you go back in the channels, I said to you on one of the latest channels, I said, even if we get, just listen to this though. I said to you, even if we get a new manager, Jeff, will it make a difference? And you said no, they're just not good enough. Even if we got a new manager, I said if we get Dyche, would it help? You guys know,
never said it not good enough.
Have a look on. Dyche. You said we still won't be able to win.
Right. They're still not very good. Right. I'm not gonna change my opinion on that. We are not a great side. Right. When we played under Moyes back in the day, most of the time when we were on the pitch, we were outmatched in terms of quality, in terms of technical ability. But the difference is the coach and the fight and the heart and the desire and all that other stuff. And that makes that can make a team bridge enough of that gap. So yeah, I still don't think our players are very good. I really don't.
I thought it was good
today. Apart from one or two. But if you're tactically organised, you play 110% of your, maximum effort all the time, and you do your jobs, and you're well organised. A good team, a well-managed team, can make up for that.
Look at that free stream. Look at this free stream.
You can make up for a quality deficit with the other stuff, and that's the thing is that so yeah.
At least there's no more prima donnas.
Positive Dan is got the show
There's no more
today.
prima donnas. There's no one that doesn't want to play there anymore. Well, maybe there's one or two, but let's not name them right now until we got through this relegation battle. But most of the people that are in it just for the money have gone now. Yeah, we didn't bring anyone in the window, and I think we were all very upset about this because we were promised by Mashiri we were getting a striker and all that. But apparently phone calls were made. We didn't get it through. Whatever happened, that's all blown over now. We've got the team that we have to play with. And what Dice has proven today is if they stay fit, then we should have a really good chance of competing with most teams. Because if we can do this against the league leaders who have been phenomenal all season, then we can definitely do this against other teams. I mean, actually, arguably, the next game is maybe on paper slightly easier. No disrespect to Liverpool, but they're not going that well at the moment. So that's kind of
it's one of those
now an even game.
These two games, if you'd have offered me like we're going to play Arsenal and then we're going to play Liverpool and you're going to come away with 3 points, I would have just been. I'd have been like, you're insane. You're literally insane. So even if we didn't get a result in the derby, the 3 points that we've got today means that out of these two games we've got a win out of these two games. That's just massive.
Jeff, on what you're saying, I just said this to my partner. I said, we could play 3 games and draw, and we say that's amazing. We just got those 3 points, what 3 draws would take in one game. In one game, we picked up 3 draws, which would be hard for us the way we've been playing. 3 draws, we would have said we'd be happy with over these next couple of games. But we picked up those points in one game, and that's how you stay up. That's how you stay up against Arsenal, who are a very good team. Sorry to butt over you, Jeff, but I had that point.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, let's go back to the game. The second half, we didn't expect Everton to play.
Some positive comments. I am, mate. I am.
Yeah, we didn't expect Everton to play as well in the second half. Well, I certainly didn't, as they did in the first. But there's always a first for everything in football and in life for that matter. And this was a game where it proved Everton can stitch the game together and play for the full 90 minutes. Well, it was 97 minutes or something in the end, in actual fact. I don't know where he got the 6 minutes from. There's obviously a brawl at the end.
That was Zinchenko saying, can you add 2 minutes?
Time.
Yeah.
But second half, Everton, they had further chances. But let's not get away from the fact that we did clear the ball off the line, Cody. And that kept Everton in the game. If Arsenal going 1-0, you just believe that Everton maybe have to open up because that we'd be having a different game plan. The fact that we could keep it compact for as long as possible gave us a chance. Yeah. And then Tarkowski, wow. I mean, he is the prodigal son of Deitch. We put his comment up. He's absolutely delighted for the man. But the corner comes in, and it was inevitable. Well, I thought it was that we were going to scrap and get a goal because there were so many corners, and we looked so threatening.
We don't normally have those corners though, because I normally
taking the corners, Dan.
Right.
Well, it's not even just who. It's not about who. I just think when we've watched us, Steve, I normally like a bet, and I never bet on Everton to have corners because we never get up there. And we never have corners. And I can't believe the Sean Dyche tactic got us up there so much and got us so many corners. And the reason is, and this is the thing though, Steve, it's not that the players wasn't good enough. It's that the players wasn't set up and coached right. And that was making, and I've said this all along, if you go back in the channels, I've said they are not put out to do the right jobs. And if you're put out, no matter how hard you play, you can't, if you're in the wrong position or you're told to do the wrong thing, it just affects you as a player. And that's the thing where we've come in and we've not seen McNeil be good. And we've come in and we've not seen, like, Iwobi was good, by the way, on that right-hand side as well. Absolutely amazing. But for the first time, we've seen wingers be wingers. And that's the reason that we got a lot of corners. It's because our wingers was getting down the channels and they was getting crosses in. And there was getting us like corners. And that's the thing. This tactic's going to suit us because if we do get corners, we've got some cracking players that can score goals from corners. Now the delivery is good, by the way. Sean Dyche has sorted that out. You can clearly see he said, right,
Well,
you've got
McNeil
corners
has
this
a really
side.
good left foot on him, and
Yeah.
gave Iwobi a chance on the other
And
side.
Iwobi.
McNeil was,
And I think
like,
previous to
the
that,
player
the
I thought-
corners were being taken by Gray.
Yeah.
And he wasn't on the pitch, so that shook
you
it
know,
up.
that's something that's interesting. Now, I've heard that maybe he wasn't training during the week, and that's the reason why he didn't play or didn't start the game or whatever. But the interesting thing is when you actually look at the way the team was set up today, where does Gray actually fit in? You know, and
I do think he'll come in though. Someone messaged me that, and they said
we're like a crystal rice paper. We're too paper thin to not play him. But in this system,
I'm not saying we won't play him.
Jeff,
but
you're right. In this system,
in terms of like,
where'd you put him? I mean, you could put, if you don't play maybe all of those central midfielders, maybe you play one of them slightly further up in a different game. But we've proved that this game works. So for now, I think he can't but start with the same lineup against Liverpool. Let's just have a touchdown. We spoke about the corners, Everton having 7. It felt like there were more actually. But Arsenal only had 5, but still a lot of corners. But these stats here, guys, show how much of a tactical masterclass it was from Dyche today. Because to only have 30% of the ball at home against a side of the quality of Arsenal, but to be almost winning on all the other stats suggests that, you know, he got it spot on. I mean, yes, there were fouls, but we had to battle because they had a quality side. Do you know 7 or 8 of their players would walk into most teams in this league.
Yeah.
Wolves are 2-0 up, by the way. Someone's just commented that.
You are kidding me.
Yeah, someone's just said Wolves are 2-0 up against
I don't know whether that's good
Giant.
or bad right now.
It'll get them more up for us, but it's good that they're losing. But we don't care what they're going to be like. We're still going to beat them.
Temporarily, we're in the relegation zone, but we're also joint 15th. Leeds, Leicester, West Ham also. There's still a long way to go, Dan.
Yeah, well, like I say, it doesn't. I just think about this game. Focus on one game at a time. And the only challenge that we had was to get something from this game. We would have been happy with a draw, but we managed to beat the team top of the league, the best team in the league. And that's not an easy job to do. That is not an easy job to do. Now, the confidence that these players must get from that, they've got to take into the next game, and they've got to say, if we can beat Arsenal when they're top of the league, when they really want to win, if we can beat them, we can beat anybody. So into the next game, you don't think about too far ahead. You think, right, the next game, we beat Arsenal. If we can do that, we can try and beat Liverpool, and we fucking play our best against Liverpool, and that's what we've got to do. Yeah. And if whatever happens, all we need to do is make sure that this work rate, this performance goes into every game to create consistency. And I think if you get that, it's not about the result, it's about the performance for me. If you get that performance that we had today, every game, that performance, if that goes into every game we've got left, that performance will keep us up.
We've got a chance in every game.
Yeah, it will keep us up because it's very good.
Going back to like what we spoke about at the start of the season, because like, to be fair, we were both more positive at the start of the season, me and you, Dan.
You was as well, Jeff, positive, at the start.
Really positive.
It's come back now.
Yeah, you were positive before the game, Jeff.
Yeah, no, but
you have to be.
I thought, like I said, we lack a certain amount of quality, and that's fair enough. But like, what I thought was the defensive resilience that we'd brought in, leaders at the back, and the strength that we brought in midfield. And I thought we were going to be in every game. And that was the thing is, I always thought, like, at the earliest part of the season, we were in every game. We had a chance, you know what I mean? Like, we could compete and whatever. And it was like a case of nick a goal, pick up something, get a point, get a draw, whatever. And we were doing that. And then it sort of fell off a cliff. And then we were just getting outplayed constantly. And you could see today was that we got back to that of scrap, fight, whatever. But we had a bit more tactical organisation. We had a bit more fight about us, a bit more steel or whatever. And that was great. A big shout out, because I haven't mentioned him so far.
Coleman
Decore.
and Decore.
Like, where did that come from? Because he has been dog shit recently.
He's not played many games.
Let's be honest. No, he's not played many games. But like, even when he has played, like he's not been great. Like recently, and that kind of the way we played today with him sort of deeper, and then Onana further forward. Yeah, now they're playing further forward, and then sort of Guy being the legs, and he was the legs today. That was the Onana. That was the Ghana Gay I recognise. That's the guy I recognise. And so that midfield suddenly was like, oh, that's a functional midfield. That looks like we know what we're doing. And then you've got the wide players who are getting forward and pushing forward. Like, that was Iwobi looking good, and he was covering back for Seamus. Seamus had one of his best games in ages. Mikalenko, who's looked like a lost sheep, like with somebody like McNeil coming back and helping him out, they were able to keep control of that side of the pitch. And so he wasn't lost, and he had his best game in ages. And so everything just because, like Sean Dyche always talks, we saw the tactical masterclass. We all saw it, didn't we? And it's like working pairs, working teams, and it's like, your right back and your right midfielder and your left back and your left midfielder, they work together. It's a pair, so they come back and they help each other out. And so we had little connections all over the pitch that worked, and we were sort of tracking each other and covering each other and all that kind of stuff. And it's like all the little basics of football that have been missing just all come back. And it was like, that's an Everton team. That's an actual Everton team. It's like, we've never been the best quality in terms of, even under Moyes, we were good. We were all right, but we weren't like world class. We've never been like top draw. But this was an Everton team, a proper functioning Everton team that sort of. What are you doing?
Edda.
Yeah, right.
So
this looked like a proper Everton team, like all the sort of David Moyes kind of archetypes were all in place here, and that's like after 4 or 5 days of Sean Dyche, that's pretty impressive.
If you would have put that David Moyes team with the Cahill, the Carsley, and all that lot under Lampard, they wouldn't have worked trying to play Lampard's football. And the difference is Sean Dyche has done tactics similar to what David Moyes used to be. Organised, compact, strong. Everybody knows what they're doing. Everybody knows what they're doing. They work together. They play as a team. We haven't seen these players play as an 11 for a very long time. No. They played as an 11. And when you play as a team, it's so much easier. Like when you're on that pitch, if you play by yourself, trying to win a game by yourself, you're lost. Today, it was in it together.
Especially over 2 halves.
Yeah, exactly.
We've done it for a half, but we did it like we did it, and then we did it again.
Well, that was the big test. I mean, I'll tell you about myself. I didn't even after that first half. It was the perfect first half for me. And I didn't even know whether to put anything in the WhatsApp group, and I didn't even know whether to tweet anything because I didn't want to curse it. Because we know our biggest problem is we can play well first half and we can completely flop the game second half. So for me, it's right. It's right. Now I've seen Dyche do the perfect first half. Dyche, can you take the Everton out of Everton and for once make us have a second half that can protect that first half and be as good as that first half? Yeah. So I was shitting myself second half, even though I believed 100%. I was shitting myself, and it was amazing. The second half was perfect.
This was the goal. Saves you trying to animate.
I understand what you're saying, Kev.
That's not as good as mine, Steve. Steve, that's not as good as my animation.
No, I think your animation's even better.
I seen you laughing when I did it.
but with these scenes behind the shot and then this goal, it kind of sums up the day. How did you guys celebrate the goal? Because I went absolutely berserk. First of all, I didn't think we were going to score. I don't know what that is all about. We're at home. But I just started jumping around in circles and going mad up and down.
I had to.
JJ, he thought it was some sort of game, and then I got him in. And Emma, she's not even really into Everton, but these honorary fans have to watch it anyway. She started watching the game at that point. So On
had
that
to
note,
go in. You know,
I might have to go out soon. But how did you
Steve,
guys celebrate? Was it subdued or were you animated?
When Tarkowski scored that goal, I had to quickly run to the freezer and get some ice because I was walking around the house with a boner. Oh no, I'm only joking. But seriously, I was close.
I have to be honest. I was in work last night.
You're asking for trouble, asking me questions like that. Yeah. Oh my days!
I'm a wagon driver, and so basically last night I was in work driving up to Scotland and back. So I got home about I got home at half 6.
I don't want to know what you're doing during the game, Dan.
Yeah,
you're still watching the game.
How did I celebrate?
I got home at half 6, 7 o'clock this morning. Yeah, I got home about 7 this morning. So basically, I was in bed. I set the alarm to wake up for the match, and so like when the goal went in, I was literally just in bed. So I was celebrating, but it was fairly muted because I'm just knackered. Like, basically I had about 4 hours sleep
from the previous night. Well, it's the biggest I've celebrated Everton's got a goal for a long time, but we haven't exactly scored that many goals. How many is that this season? It's not enough. By the way, it's still 2-0 to Wolves against Liverpool.
Someone said in the comments, though, Steve, and it's so true, we could have scored 3 or 4 goals today. And I was really worried at the start of the game, thinking, is this Sean Dyche style going to mean that we're just going to play for draws every game? It wasn't the case.
No.
We Calvert-Lewin could have scored 2 headers, by the way. Doucouré's header. I'll let Doucouré off because, by the way, he's not good at heading, we all know, so don't grill him too much. He's got to get better at it. But Doucouré's header, anyone else would have scored that. But Doucouré's not good at heading, so I'll let him off. But he needs to improve on that if he's going to get in those positions. But I'm sure Dyche will have him on the headers after that. So Calvert-Lewin could have scored 2 headers. Doucouré should have scored that header. Calvert-Lewin, that sliding with that cross, that was so close. That's 4 goals there, and there was a few more as well that I'm not even talking about. So we had a lot more
Liverpool
chances. Yeah, I just said that earlier on.
Yeah, these are I
didn't realize who they were playing.
By the way, we've actually only scored 16 goals this season total.
No. Well, two things on that. So the first thing to say is, this Arsenal defense is the best defense in the league. They don't concede goals. So basically, like they do not concede many goals.
They've let in 17 all season,
right?
Including
Exactly. So basically, they're letting in less than a goal a game against everybody. So if we can score against them, then that's the best defense. Then we can score against other teams. So yeah, we might not have got a load of goals today, but we created chances. But against the weaker sides, we'll create more chances because their defenses aren't as good as Arsenal's. Arsenal's is a really, really solid defense. And like Ben White, I was watching an Arsenal podcast, and they were saying he's been a revelation this year. He's been one of their best players, and he got took off because they were struggling.
Couldn't handle Sean Dyche ball. That's why he couldn't handle the Sean Dyche.
He couldn't handle Iwobi because
Sean Dyche.
Iwobi was sort of turning him inside, turning him outside, and we were playing overlaps, which we were playing overlaps. My God. So they had to make changes. And
he was good. He was good, Iwobi, on what you just said.
Yeah. Iwobi played really well this game.
High defeat.
Yeah. So I just think that they were like Mikel Arteta was really angry after the game. He was seeing his arse and he was fuming, and you could tell. And it's like, we weren't supposed to do that, I'm sure he expected a tough game, but I'm sure he expected a win. That's only the second game they've lost all season. So the importance of the game, this is a massive defeat for Arsenal. It's a massive defeat because they're going for the title.
Could be the difference on them winning the league, Jeff. Could be the difference on them winning the league.
It could change momentum. So the fact is that they weren't sort of playing half-assed. They were going for it. They wanted this result badly. And so bringing on
bringing on players like Trossard and Jorginho as well. That's to handle players like that. We've done so well.
We don't have players like that just hanging around on the bench. Guys, I'm going to have to stop you just because I am going to
Gotta go. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. I'm going to get, well, I promised my wife while I'm still
married, thanks for coming on.
You can go out and celebrate. Thing is, they were past 45 minutes and into half time. But guys,
go and buy your kid loads of sweets.
I'll be watching later. And for everyone who's watched so far, thanks for your contributions. Even if you're a subscriber of the channel, we're pushing on 2,000. Please like this video, because what it does is it pushes this video about so lots of Blues can watch it and they may not know about the channel. So thanks, guys. And I'll catch you guys as a preview for the Liverpool match, which is a week on Monday.
Yeah,
so we'll be looking at that. Take care.
One other thing. Everybody, Blues, enjoy match of the day tonight. We can actually enjoy match of the day, and we might even be first on. Like, we can enjoy watching match of the day for the first time in months. It's just going to be like people saying nice things about us and eulogizing and talking about all the positive things that we've done. Like, oh, it's so great, isn't it?
Well,
I'm just so happy.
I'm buzzing as well.
I'm just so happy.
I seen at half time, Jeff, there was pulling out lines of how close the players and the tactics, how close the players was together. And there was always like in triangles and the formation. And there was pulling out Dyche tactics. And it's not something you'd think that they'd be doing, is saying, look at Dyche tactics. That was absolutely amazing. He's completely mastered Arsenal. And,
the halftime
analysis.
The analysis.
They were so impressed by what Dyche had done and what he put out. And the thing is, one thing I will say, Jeff, is that it's not easy to cut. Dyche has not been in very long. I think he's had 2-3 training sessions. It's not easy to get the players to do what you want that quick. And he managed to, like, especially when it's tactical stuff, that normally takes games and games and games for players to understand how you want them to play. Yeah. He's come in and he's on the first game, he's got them mastering exactly what he wants to do. And the good thing is about Dyche's style of football is a style of football that is something that you can play consistently, because it's not about luck. It's organised and it's compact, and you play the same thing everything. So we can actually work on that now, and we can keep playing like he got us to play today, because Lampard's football, pass it out from the back, it often depends like on what the other team plays like. Dyche football is just simple, and it was amazing. And I'm buzzing.
Are people going to start saying Dyche ball now? Is that a new thing? Is that a saying?
I don't know what to say. Yeah, we've got so many sayings.
Thanks for joining. They did. They did.
So buzzing.
I'm just going to try and read some comments out because obviously we want people to.
We'll have a
conversation.
I was just going to say, Jeff,
a draw all week. Never thought this would be possible. Cheers.
I said 1-0.
I said 1-0 when it's an identification, because I don't know your actual name. But Prince Rupert, that's your handle. So I'll it was.
I did say 1-0. Ryan said 1-0. So we both actually, I think that's the first time all season we got the score right. We both actually said 1-0.
But like,
on one of the spaces, someone come on one of the spaces yesterday. I did a space on Twitter, and someone come in and they said Tarkowski's going to score and we're going to win 1-0.
Wow. I hope you had a few quid on there. I've seen a few people saying that they've had bets on. I saw, somebody posted in the group before, and I didn't get on it. Like I said, I was in work last night. I was up to Scotland.
He went. I've seen him say, I'm going to the game, and he was buzzing. And that's the reason we've won. So make sure you go again, because you went. That's the reason we won. And because of all the other 40,000 amazing fans as well. Do you know what, Jeff? When I was watching the game, I kept looking at the fans and I was so happy for them, because I know, because I speak to a lot of fans, we've been through so much shit in the last couple of weeks. And we have, honestly, we've had the wind knocked out of our sails, mate. And we have been through so much shit. We've been gaslighted. We've been called toxic. We've been made out to other fans that we're the worst fans in the world. And I know we're the best fans going. And we've been through so much shit. And do you know what? Sometimes good things come to those that deserve it. And we deserve that result,
Just like, I don't normally give credit to the media or whatever. But credit to BT Sport. They mentioned the protest. But I also noticed what they said was that there's no doubt about the Everton fans that when the game starts, they will be 100% behind their team. And they praised and they said, like, Everton fans are smart. They can separate the issues. They're doing a protest. But when the game comes on, they'll be behind their team. And there was a lot of stuff from the commentators and from the pundits where they were praising the fans. And so that was important because it was like, after we've had so much bad press, like you said, we've been gaslit and all the rest of it. This was showing the best of Everton because that atmosphere was amazing. That atmosphere was amazing today. That's the best atmosphere we've had at a game in a good while, and it didn't stop. They were, they were singing the whole game and they were loud and some of the stuff like Onana, the one you spoke about before, when he did that tackle late on, and then he did that to the crowd, and everyone's like, "Come on, you!" Yeah.
Oh,
and it's
I love him.
like
he did so many tackles. There was an Onana tackle where he was on a yellow card, and he got back, and someone did one of our players on the left, and was a little bit out of position. And Onana was already on a yellow, but he put one of those beautiful tackles. He is honestly, I am not even joking. Onana, at his age, people will say you're getting ahead of yourself. He is going to be the best centre midfielder in the world. I'm not even joking. No, I'm not even joking. He is going to be, because, Jeff, there isn't many good centre midfielders nowadays in football. Like, it's took us ages to get a good one.
When you actually look at the combination of the size of the guy, because he's a big unit.
Powerhouse,
but he's quick.
Good feet, good tackler.
And he's got good feet and he can play the ball. But also, there was like in the first half, there was a bit where I think someone played the ball down the left. I don't know who it was. Someone played the ball down the left. And he kind of like, he turned it around the corner and then he outpaced their fullback. He flicked the ball around and basically skinned their fullback, and he was away in the box, and he put in a cross that Calvert-Lewin, I think, nearly got on the end of. But he was outpacing their fullbacks, which, like I say, for a guy as big, you don't normally see that level of pace. But he had the pace to get away, and so. Do
you know what it is? Do you know what it is, Jeff?
I think he does have that ability. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? What makes him faster is heart. He plays with his heart, and it's a drive. Do you know when he drive runs, he just goes? Do you know when you've got that passion inside you where I want to go? I remember when I used to play, it was the same. When he's got that passion inside that gives you that burst of run, and when it, like you've just said, Jeff, when he's on that burst, he goes past players, making them look like they should be in Sunday League.
Yeah, he's not like a Sacco, but like you say, when he gets going,
he's drive. You can't stop him.
How do you stop him? Yeah, because like I said, because he's got the physical attributes of being a big lump and all the rest of it, and then you throw that pace in. It's like how do you stop him without taking him out? Dyche for Prime Minister.
Stone Cold Dyche. Stone Cold. I knew Dyche would come in and do this. I knew I was asking for him. I knew he would come in and do this, and he deserves it, because he gets so much shit. Yeah. Like he's a basic, not good manager, and like he's a downgrade. I tell you something, he's the best manager we've had. We've had Benitez. We've had. I'd say, out of every manager since Mashira has come in, he's 100% better after one game. One game. So
I was talking about this. I don't know who, whatever, but we've spent £500 million, gone through 7 or 8 managers to end up coming back to a sort of David Moyes kind of manager and playing proper Everton football. Like that's what we should have been doing. And like we've gone through all these iterations of we're trying to be something that we're not. And Everton, like Ryan said it, I think Ryan said it on one of the spaces, Everton don't want to be Arsenal. We do not want to be Man City. We don't want to faff about and play the ball here, there and everywhere and do 53 passes to get a chance on goal. It's pace. It's like quick movement. It's get the ball up there, get the ball in, get on the end of the crosses. that's the Everton sort of blueprint of how we want to. And like, if you play like that, look at the atmosphere today. Like some of the time, even when we played good football under some of our tactician managers, that you want to call them, philosophy managers, it was boring. It was just boring, like tap, 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 tap. You know,
I enjoyed watching this today, Jeff. I enjoyed.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This felt like I was watching Everton.
A lot more than what I thought, yeah.
Everton.
Well, we've got the most passionate fans in the world, and Dyche plays passionate football, and we can get behind that. Passionate football connects with our passionate fans, and we can get behind that. Our fans have got so much passion. When you see Lampard try and get us freaking passing out from the back, or try and get players to do stuff that they don't excel in,
we're not actually in for him, Kev.
I am buzzing now. Honestly, do you know, Jeff? I don't know whether you know anything that concerned me about this game. Did Calvert-Lewin, was it a tactical substitution? Calvert-Lewin coming off, or was it?
It was basically no. It wasn't an injury. I think it's just a case of looking after him and getting him back, because he's not at full fitness.
He was good today, so that's good.
Yeah, we don't want to risk an injury. But
by the way, Mopé, like we said, Jeff, when he come on, it was a good substitution. Some people have said, is Dyche good at substitutions? I don't think we would have took Calvert-Lewin off that early, but it worked out really well doing so, because Mopé's energy was really good, and he was a shithouse, and he did.
Who else
stop
did we
him.
sub? Did we make any other subs?
No, that was the only one. It was Mopé.
That was the only one. Yeah.
But I wouldn't have done anything else, to be fair. I think we'll see that most of this season. There ain't going to be a lot of subs. Coleman as well, though. Big shout out to Coleman. Gets a lot of stick. He was absolutely solid.
Both fullbacks deserve credit.
Mikalenko, Coleman.
Mikalenko has come in for a lot of stick recently. But this was kind of like, do you remember when we played the derby? And Mikalenko was amazing in the derby.
Yeah. We said he had him in the pocket. Yeah.
And he had Dingo in his pocket.
Salah.
Yeah, Salah.
Yeah.
And it was like that was, he was back to that. So
I said this.
Leighton Baines, he's never going to be that. But if he can be a solid right back, then that's good.
I said this at the start, though, Jeff. I said, when we played the three centre-backs and we're playing with wing-backs, Mikalenko's strength is not getting forward. He can do it bits and bobs when he's unmarked, but we was playing to players' weaknesses. Mikalenko is not a wing-back. And he's good at defending. He can do basic solid shit, Mikalenko can, which he showed today as a back four. But Lampard was playing these players to their weaknesses, and that's the reason they was playing poor. And they was just really badly coached. And do you know what? Lampard's one of the best people you'll ever meet, but he wasn't a good coach. He really wasn't. And today it showed. It really did show. And I don't take it that I'm saying bad things about Lampard.
We sometimes disagree, but sometimes we are completely on the same page. And
at least we're not scared to argue.
Both of us have been saying for quite some time, Lampard's out of his depth and he doesn't know what he's doing and he needs to go and we need to get someone else in. We've both been banging that drum for quite a while.
Well, we're gonna. I don't know if you agree, Jeff, because a lot of people stay on the channel. I don't want to take too much of the time because I want to let them get the beers in and go and celebrate around the house.
Yeah.
Read a couple more comments. 5 minutes. We'll end it in on an hour or something like that. 2-3 more minutes, and we'll get off. Anybody on?
That's a great comment. Next season's kit is out. It's claret and blue.
Oh, Jeff, do you know what I said to you, didn't I, on the channel last one? I said I brought this top because all my tops are bad looks. So we keep losing them. And my partner says, you know what? That's the new lucky top. I bet you we're winning that top, and we did. So
wear it don't wear it too much, but wear it when it matters.
No, but it was last season when we stayed up. It was the gold top, the retro one that kept us up. And now I've got this one, so this could be the one that keeps us up again. This could be the lucky one. I will keep washing it. Don't worry.
And so just on this comment, Kev, hey mate, how are you doing? We're out of the bottom three, and it's like I don't know how the results will go today. We might be in and out of the top three for in and out of the bottom three for a little while. But I think there's a lot of fans, including me. Okay, fair enough. I'll hold me a culpa. I was really worried about us being relegated, and I think that you look at this today, and this is a team that shouldn't be in that question. This team is it should be mid-table. That's the level that we should be at. We're way better than bottom three.
One game
playing like this. Yeah,
one game means nothing, Jeff. But I do. No. This is a difference. One game means nothing, but I do believe Daesh will keep these players up to that standard because I trust him that he's a manager that won't let them dip in performance and stuff. And the good thing is, Jeff, is like this start was massive, and I said this: if we can beat Arsenal, we could. I think we'll do well the next game, the derby. I really do. But even if we lost the derby, we still got the positive energy from beating Arsenal after that. So just winning this one game gives you positivity for the next 2-3.
Even if we'd have lost today, which we didn't, up the fucking Toffees, but even if we had lost today, what I was wanting more than anything else coming into this game, because let's be honest, they're top of the league for a reason. They're flying. They're a really good side. They're strong. Like I said, we took forward. They're strong defensively. They're strong in attack. Whatever. I just wanted to see us compete and show the signs that we were like moving in the right direction, and everything I wanted to see and so much more was delivered today. It was like that was a well coached, well drilled, hard working, never say die team that just got a result from sheer force of will, and Dyche just take a bow. Sean Dyche take a bow. Yeah,
up the fucking toughest, baby.
And I think on that note, that'll do for me.
Stone Cold Dyche, mate, love it. Jeff, go and celebrate. People in the comments, thanks for coming on. If you can drop a like before you go off, it just gets the video viewed more. We don't make anything from the channel, but we just try to connect with more Evertonians, and that's what we like to do. And I love all the Evertonians in the comments. You know them all as well, Jeff. We know you personally. We know you pretty well. And
I hope we're first on Match of the Day. We should be. We should be, because this was a statement result. It feels like a statement result. It's like, this Everton team is not going down without a fight. This Everton team is in this battle now, and the only way is up.
Right, thank you, Toffees. I'm going to try and end it. See if I can end it properly, Jeff. See if I can end this. But go and have a boss. Go and have a boss night. Yeah, have a boss night.
Have a great night. And go make some
night ever. Yeah, go and make some Onanas or Tarkovskis or Sean Dyche, Stone Cold Steve Austin babies. Love it.